Two surprise teams will meet on Sunday in South Florida when the St. Louis Rams come to town to face the Miami Dolphins. BETDAQ currently has Miami installed as a 3.5-point favorite in this game, 37.5 the total. And if that total sounds kind of low, it's because we do not expect a whole lot of scoring in this game. These two teams, when they've been winning, have been winning the same way. Tough defense, low-scoring games, an offense that doesn't make too many mistakes, but also doesn't put too many points up on the board. Now, the Rams are 3-2 on the year through 5 weeks. A tremendous surprise. This team was 2-14 last year. Nobody expected Jeff Fisher to turn it around this quick. But these St. Louis Rams, they look just like a Jeff Fisher team. Look just like the Tennessee Titans circa 2001 or 2002 or 2003 or whatever. A team that wins with tough defense, a team that likes to run the ball, possess the ball on offense. Anybody who's seen the Rams play over the last couple of years can recognize the change in offensive philosophy. Jeff Fisher, and it hadn't always been successful because the Rams don't have a good offensive line, which is the main reason they haven't been successful doing much of anything on offense. But they've tried to run the ball more. They've tried to become a more ball control offense. They're much less willing, obviously, to let Sam Bradford just wing it all around the field than the coaching staff had been in St. Louis over the last couple of years. Now, with good reason, because the Rams, they don't have much in terms of weapons at the wide receiver position. And after Danny Amendola went down with a collarbone injury last week against Arizona, I'm not sure what they're going to do this week. I don't know who Bradford's going to be able to throw the ball to because it appeared as though as soon as Amendola went out of that game, Bradford no longer had anybody he could trust or felt was reliable enough to throw him the ball. So curious to see how they're going to attack the Dolphins defense this week, because if you're going to attack the Dolphins defense, you better attack that secondary. You better throw the ball. Miami 29th in the league this year in pass defense, but number 1 in the league this year against the rush. So the Dolphins front seven has been stout this season. You're not going to have much success running the ball on this team. And I'm just not sure if the Rams can have much success passing the ball on anybody. So do expect a really low-scoring game here. 37.5 the total, and I lean towards the under. We mentioned the Rams' problems on offense and how stout the Dolphins are on defense. The same thing is true if you just reverse it. The Dolphins, even though they've been playing really well, they haven't been winning or staying competitive because of their offense. They did beat Cincinnati on the road last week. Cincinnati was a playoff team last year who was playing really well coming into the game, so an excellent win for the Dolphins. And they'd played well their previous 2 weeks, overtime losses on the road, first to Arizona, an Arizona team that was undefeated at the time, and then the week before that, an overtime loss to the New York Jets. So the Dolphins' defense, that front seven, has been keeping them in these games. On offense, they have an excellent offensive line, and Reggie Bush has had the best year he's had yet as an NFL player, but still, he's not an elite running back. They don't have any elite wide receivers after they shipped Brandon Marshall off to the Chicago Bears last year. Interestingly, when they shipped Marshall off, a lot of people around the team, in the locker room, you heard a lot of people saying this is going to be addition by subtraction. Now, a lot of us scoffed at that notion. Coming into this season, they say, okay, well, addition by subtraction, who do you have now? Well, it appears as though maybe the Miami coaching staff, the management there, maybe they knew what they were doing, because these Dolphins are really coming together as a team over the last couple of weeks. A lot of people, myself included, expected them to be one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL heading into this season, and it's evident that we have underestimated them. Because again, the Dolphins a favorite at home this Sunday, and if they win this game, 3-3 in the division, only a game back. If New England wins this Sunday, that is, they'll only be a game back of first in the AFC East. So, hey, who knows what we're going to see? The Dolphins have already surprised us. The Rams have already surprised us. This game on Sunday, I'll be surprised if a lot of points are scored. And when you look at the number here, Miami minus 3.5, I know it might sound funny, but that's a big number. You might think that sounds ridiculous because 3.5, that's a small number. But if you look at the way these Dolphins games have been going, again, squeaking out a win at the end there last week against Cincinnati, 2 overtime games in the previous week. So Dolphins have been playing a lot of close football, and a lot of that has to do with the fact they play good defense and they don't have much on offense. And in this game on offense for the Dolphins, I expect them to be even more conservative than they have been here recently. In these last couple of games, they've really let Ryan Tannehill throw the ball around the park a little bit. Don't expect that to be the case this Sunday because the Rams secondary is really, really good. Cortland Finnegan, the acquisition, who used to, of course, play cornerback for Jeff Fisher at Tennessee. I'll tell you what an acquisition that has been for the Rams. Cortland Finnegan looks like his normal self, really disrupting opposing passing games. And rookie cornerback Janoris Jenkins has stepped up on the other side, and he's playing just about as well as Finnegan. This Rams secondary, very impressive, a ball-hawking secondary. Ryan Tannehill is going to have to be very careful not to make too many mistakes in this game, and I think the Dolphins coaching staff knows that. Mike Sherman, offensive coordinator, I expect him to employ a very conservative game plan here because I think they're very well aware of the fact that their defense is going to be able to control the Rams offense, so they don't want Tannehill making mistakes, could lose the game for them. That is why I do expect an extremely low-scoring game here. Once again, I do lean towards under 37.5. And if you're going to put my feet to the fire, even though the Rams haven't been very good on the road this year, all 3 of their wins have been at home, 3.5 feels like a lot of points in this situation. I mean, I'll mention again the way the Dolphins have been playing recently, how good the Rams have been playing on defense. I expect a low-scoring, tight game here. And again, if it came down to it, those 3.5 points might really come in handy. Now, I do expect the Dolphins to win this game. You can probably tell the way I say that. I don't have all the confidence in the world in that, but a Miami money line bet. I think if you're going to back the Dolphins, I think even though the bet might not pay quite as well, it might be a good idea to back Miami on the money line in this game and really not let those 3.5 kill you, because the 3.5 points here could really come into play. And again, if gun to my head right now, I'm saying St. Louis under 37.5.